My wife starts to scream when she sees all 6 of my blood pressure medication bottles in the bathroom trash can. I see the look of terror in her eyes and realize she thinks I've given up and am ready to die. That's what my doctor said would happen if I quit taking my blood pressure meds, the meds I'd come to hate with a passion. When I held her face in my hands and told her why I did it, her look of terror gave way to shock, and then tears of joy. I'll tell you the incredible true story in a minute. First, if you or someone you love has high blood pressure, drop whatever you're doing and watch this short presentation through to the end. What you're about to learn could save your life. I should know. It saved mine. You'll learn how I lowered my blood pressure from a deadly 200/100 to a healthy 115/75 in just 7 days. The big lie about blood pressure medication the drug companies pray you never discover. The 4 worst blood pressure drugs being prescribed today and what to do if you're currently taking them. The truth about salt, fat, and hypertension, and why you should avoid so-called heart-healthy and fat-free foods like the plague. One food that holds the key to controlling high blood pressure without drugs. You'll also learn the simple steps you can take to normalize your blood pressure using a 100% natural method that has doctors baffled and drug companies terrified. Make sure you watch this short presentation through to the end, not just because the information you learn could save you from an early death, but also because I have a surprise for you at the end you're going to love. So who am I and why am I telling you all this? My name is Dan. I'm a 67-year-old retired railroad engineer. I'm an ordinary person just like you. When I retired, all I wanted was to enjoy my free time in peace, time with grandkids, a couple rounds of golf each week, and keeping up my volunteer work at the church. Then, just over a year ago, I woke up with intense pain around my eyes, like the bone of my eye socket was being crushed. Then I started blacking out. My wife, who's an ER nurse, rushed me to the hospital where the doctor confirmed her worst fear. My blood pressure was a deadly 200/100. There was so much pressure on my vascular system, I was on the verge of having an immediate stroke. My doctor said it was a wonder I wasn't dead already. As bad as that was, little did I know the real nightmare was only just beginning. The doctor immediately prescribed 2 medications, one for the blood pressure and one to counteract the side effects caused by the first medication. Just a few weeks later, I was on 6 medications, and my life was a living hell. Thanks to the diuretic I was on, the new focus on my life was getting to the toilet on time. On top of that, the beta blocker I was taking drained all my energy to the point where I felt like an invalid in my own house. I've always taken pride in keeping a neat yard, and strange as it sounds, seeing my lawn overgrown with weeds was like getting kicked in the stomach. I thought it couldn't get any worse, but then one night in June, I didn't make it to the bathroom in time and wet myself. As I stared at the growing wet spot on my pajamas in utter humiliation, I decided I couldn't live like this anymore. I hobbled to my computer, desperate for answers. Over the next 3 hours, I learned that lisinopril received 406,180 complaints to the FDA because of side effects like vomiting, kidney failure, and even heart attacks, the very thing the drug is supposed to prevent in the first place. I learned that metoprolol succinate, sold as Toprol XL, can cause insomnia, anxiety, and impotence. Chlorothiazide, sold as Diaril, increases your risk of seizures, paralysis, and even slipping into a coma because it flushes out vital nutrients that your body needs to work properly. And amlodipine, sold as Norvasc, is notorious for causing side effects like hair loss, diarrhea, and depression, and even trigger suicidal thoughts. I swore then and there I would find a drug-free method for controlling my blood pressure, or die trying. I quickly realized there were 2 basic camps when it came to blood pressure treatment: the pill pushers and the quacks. The pill pushers were the conventional doctors who prescribed blood pressure meds. I'd already tried their way, and I hated it. At the other extreme, you had the quacks, unqualified individuals recommending all kinds of homegrown cures that had no scientific substantiation whatsoever. I didn't want to take drugs to control my blood pressure, but I didn't want to sit in a circle singing Kumbaya drinking green smoothies all day either. I wanted a natural blood pressure treatment with no side effects that was backed by science, which apparently was like looking for a unicorn. I began to wonder if such a thing even existed. Then I came across a website by an independent health publisher called Primal Health. They offered a book called The Blood Pressure Solution. The author was Dr. Marlene Merritt, a licensed doctor of Oriental medicine with a master's degree in nutrition from Austin, Texas, who had dedicated her life to healing people with natural yet scientifically proven methods. She claimed the method in her book was backed by peer-reviewed science, and that thousands of readers had used the method to lower their blood pressure without drugs. I was skeptical. I assumed it was just the usual generic advice you'd find on the internet. Tips like lower your salt intake and eat more celery. But I had nothing to lose and was desperate to get off my blood pressure meds, so I decided to give it a try. When I got the book, I was shocked. What it said flew in the face of almost everything I'd been told about high blood pressure. For example, it said I should replace heart-healthy and low-fat foods with foods like steak, butter, and sea salt, foods I thought were strictly off limits for people with high blood pressure like me. What I learned is that these so-called healthy foods are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and other ingredients that are major contributors to high blood pressure. In fact, processed foods like these are the #1 worst food for high blood pressure for that very reason, even if they're labeled heart-healthy or low-fat. The book said the best food for blood pressure was a certain type of fat combined with several carefully selected foods in specific macronutrient ratios. To be honest, I just sort of glossed over the science part and went straight to the step-by-step portion of the book. The method was very simple and did not require drastic lifestyle changes. It's also very different from anything I'd read before, so I decided to give it a try. To my shock, my blood pressure went from 200/100 to a healthy 115/75 just 1 week after starting the program. I measured it on the blood pressure tester at Walmart first, then confirmed it the next day with my doctor, who was not only stunned, but agreed I could go off my blood pressure meds immediately. That's the day I got my life back. It's also the day my wife found all 6 of my blood pressure medication bottles in the trash can. My results were so dramatic, I had to get in touch with the publisher of the blood pressure solution to learn more. My biggest question was, were my dramatic results a fluke, or were other readers experiencing similar results? As it turns out, over 167,000 people like me had experienced the life-changing power of the blood pressure solution. In fact, Dr. Marlene had a massive file of thank you letters and turnaround stories, with more and more coming in each day. For example, Jonathan Miller said, "I've been on blood pressure medications for 20 years. I've had dangerously high blood pressure episodes as high as 240/180. This morning, my blood pressure was 119/68 with a heart rate of 55. I had to stop taking my medications in a couple of days of starting the program because my blood pressure was too low. I've been a registered nurse for 33 years. I have never seen anything like this. It's a miracle." Joe W. wrote, "The program Dr. Merritt put me on resulted in a miracle. My high blood pressure plummeted. I was taking 4 blood pressure pills and am now down to half a pill." Angie M. from Walnut Creek, California said, "It was so easy. My blood pressure was 180, then 170 till I read the book. In 3 weeks, my blood pressure was 118 and some days 120. Even my doc wanted to know what I was doing." Karen C. from Aldershot, Australia wrote, "My doctor just halved my blood pressure medication and said he may cancel it if I keep up the good work. I've had a serious blood pressure drop." Betty H. from Mims, Florida said, "I have not taken any blood pressure meds in a month now, and my blood pressure went from 154/80 down to 118/68. Now, if you're like me, you're wondering, if this method is so effective, why haven't I heard about it till now? I asked the same question. The answer I got was a sobering crash course in the economics of the pharmaceutical industry. Now, to make a long story short, there's no money in natural treatments because you can't patent information like you can with drugs. In other words, Big Pharma doesn't want you to know about natural blood pressure treatments because they make much more money when you buy their drugs instead. Not only have the big drug companies spent billions to convince us, the consumer, that their drugs are the only way to treat high blood pressure, they've used their influence to make sure doctors believe it too. In fact, I was shocked to learn that most doctors receive less than 23 hours of nutrition training during their entire education. Despite their good intentions, most doctors are as bamboozled by Big Pharma as we are, which means that prescribing drugs is really the only tool in their toolbox, the only way they know to treat high blood pressure. The idea that drugs are the best treatment for high blood pressure is a lie told to make the drug companies rich. When I thought of the millions of people suffering from the side effects of blood pressure drugs like I had, just so these drug companies could make a profit, my blood began to boil. I decided it was time I get involved personally by sharing my story and helping the publisher of the Blood Pressure Solution spread the word about this incredible method. If you'd like a copy of the Blood Pressure Solution, your timing today is extremely lucky. Not only is a new updated version of the book available, if you claim a copy of this life-changing book today, the publisher will also give you the following bonus reports for free. The 99 Foods That Naturally Lower Blood Pressure reveals the most powerful blood pressure fighting foods on the planet. The 7-Day Meal Plan shopping list takes all the guesswork out of finding the special food you'll be eating as you follow the steps laid out in the Blood Pressure Solution book. The 7-Day Meal Plan gives you 21 step-by-step recipes that let you prepare and enjoy these powerful foods in the most delicious forms possible. How to Read a Nutrition Label shows you how to get the truth from food labels, so you can avoid the sneaky but dangerous ingredients food companies try to hide from you. How to Monitor Your Blood Pressure at Home shows you the simple secret to monitoring your own blood pressure with pinpoint accuracy right in the comfort of your own home. These reports have a combined retail value of $89.95, but you get them for free when you claim a copy of the Blood Pressure Solution today. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a minute and imagine what it would feel like to finally have this part of your life handled once and for all. Imagine the sense of relief you'll feel knowing you're no longer a ticking time bomb at risk of suffering a debilitating stroke or heart attack. Imagine living long enough to see your grandkids grow up, go to college, and start families of their own. Imagine feeling completely unafraid anytime you sit down to have your blood pressure checked, confident your numbers will read as healthy as a 20-year-old's. Imagine the look of shock on your doctor's face the next time he takes your blood pressure, and how good it'll feel when he says the words, "You can stop taking the meds now." Imagine how good it will feel to rid yourself of the costs and crippling side effects of blood pressure drugs once and for all. How much would that be worth to you? You simply cannot put a price on good health and on healthy blood pressure. And when you see the price of the Blood Pressure Solution in relation to the ongoing cost of blood pressure drugs, there's simply no comparison. Although Dr. Merritt and Primal Health know they could easily charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for this life-changing information, they've decided to make it affordable for everyone. So, for the time being, the Blood Pressure Solution is just $97 plus shipping and handling. But that's not the price you'll pay today. As I promised you at the beginning of this presentation, I have a special surprise for you. I've convinced Dr. Merritt and her publisher to give you a one-time only 50% off discount as a thank you and reward for watching this presentation through to the end. Which means if you act now, before the end of this presentation, you can have the Blood Pressure Solution and the bonus reports for just $47 plus shipping and handling. If you decline this 50% off discount, the price will revert back to the normal $97 at the end of this presentation. Due to FTC regulations, which I heartily support, I can't promise you'll experience the same dramatic results I did, but I can do the next best thing. Dr. Merritt and Primal Health are so confident in the Blood Pressure Solution that they've also authorized me to back your purchase today with one of the strongest guarantees in the industry. It's very simple. If the steps in the Blood Pressure Solution don't normalize your blood pressure in the next 30 days, it's free. What's more, if you're unhappy with the product for any reason, or no reason at all, just call or email the number provided and they'll refund your purchase up to 1 year after purchase. You really do have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So if you're tired of drug companies using your pain and suffering to line their pockets, if you're ready to end the constant fear of stroke or heart attack, if you're ready to try a simple, all-natural method that has already helped thousands of people normalize their blood pressure and get their lives back, then take this one simple step right now and try the Blood Pressure Solution today. Just click on the button below before the timer ends to get this $97 package for just $47 plus shipping and handling. When you click on the button, you'll be taken to a secure order form where you'll enter your name, address, and payment information. Your order is 100% safe and secure, as the publisher uses state-of-the-art SSL secure socket layer technology, the exact same security your bank uses for online banking. Once you submit your order, you'll get immediate access to the online version of the Blood Pressure Solution, which you can start reading and using right away while you wait for the physical version to arrive in the mail. If you want to join thousands of people whose lives have been changed by the Blood Pressure Solution, it's important that you act right now. Don't tell yourself maybe later, because with high blood pressure, you may not get that second chance.